Hi, I'm Caitlin Gomez, coming to you live from the GBTA broadcast studio in San Diego, California. I'm really excited today because I have Darrin Grafton with us, CEO of Serko. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
And Serko is one of the new guys on our scene, which is really exciting and really fun that we get to learn about new stuff. So tell us, from your perspective, what are the top global technology trends that people need to be looking out for?
I think the traveller experience side that we're sort of seeing at the moment, where it's all around that blending of business and leisures coming together into a new type of procurement sort of model, and that's really that shift, and it's driven from NDC. So that NDC shift, those two trends are really what are really shaping a new industry of how we actually buy through that sort of side.
And it seems NDC is a little daunting to people in their minds, right? You know, I think they think it's really complicated. How would you suggest travel buyers prepare themselves for the changes that are going to come?
Yeah, we've NDC is sort of like one of these enigmas. You know, you talk to a lot of people and they go, NDC, I actually don't know what it actually means.
Exactly.
And it's like, we sort of go, it's like just another web service, and it's another way of getting content. But the biggest change is that, you know, you wouldn't walk into a supermarket and just buy something off the shelf if you just saw a dollar amount. You actually want to see the label and you want to see the ingredients. So if you imagine that for airline shopping, where you go onto their consumer side and you see the pictures and you see all of this information around that airfare, that's what you're going to now see inside the business application. So enterprise is going to start to look quite cool. So for the buyers, they're going to get all of this information that they've never seen before and be able to really judge things other than just seeing things in a bucket. And the second part of that is that they connect in loyalty. So if you imagine you bought 500 business class airfares to New York, and then you've done all of these upgrades via loyalties, when you gather all of that information together, you get around another 3 to 4% additional savings by creating that visibility in there. So the buyers are going to get a lot more power through the data insights, as well as all the merchandising that's quite often done on the consumer sites because the enterprise technology can't handle it as well. So it's a huge change. It's probably one of the biggest changes we've seen, you know, since you had that removal of commissions to service fees.
Yeah.
This is probably the biggest one that's occurred in airfares, and a lot of people getting confused because of that commercial aspect that's going on. But actually, what it's going to enable for the corporations, the buyers, and the travellers is just fantastic.
That is probably the best way I've heard NDC described. You may get a lot of calls to come and give talks about this because it's the way that you explained it is exactly right. You know, and if you can't understand it, you can't manage it.
No,
right?
and there's a lot of fear around change, and I think the airlines have used a stick to get the change by introducing surcharges.
Sometimes you have to,
That's
because
right.
people just inherently don't want to change.
Yeah, and so our job, as an online booking tool, is to make sure that we give the supplier that rich information at that side, but it's actually giving the consumer. So we've sort of said that's no compromise. Yeah. If I can give you a screen that's beautiful to book in, you can do everything, and the company saves more money, the buyer's more informed, and the supplier sees their widget showed beautifully. Everyone's winning through that sort of process, and I think that's the key.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So what do you see for Serko over the next coming year?
Oh, for us, it's really, what we're trying to do is really grow across around 50 countries. So, we've now got to 100% of every travel management company in Australia and New Zealand now resells us. We're on track.
Which is where you're based.
And we've now at around 72 total market volume, which is just phenomenal. So we had no choice but to move outwards, and that's been pulled through the likes of Flight Centre, ATPI Direct. These large groups are now pulling us into the UK, so we went live in July in the UK, and we're really pushing now into the US. And it's a piece of technology that actually most of the globals are actually using in Asia. So although we kind of feel new, we're actually a public company. We're actually been there servicing them really, really well, and highly recommended. We've always sold via word of mouth, so which is quite unusual for technology to actually be sold referenceable, and so we've built a really strong reputation, and we hope to make quite a difference over here, and I think they need it.
Yeah,
I think it's time for a bit of change.
We're really excited to have you, and so since you're new to our world, welcome, and I really look forward to seeing what comes next.
Oh, cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
This is Caitlin Gomez, live at the GBTA broadcast studio. See you next time.